by far the worst matchup I've ever seen on Married at First Sight UK. Welcome to Joe T. I'm Jodie, and let's spill that Married at First Sight tea. We already know Married at First Sight is my favorite show. If I've said that about anything else, I was lying. Married at First Sight is my favorite, okay? I just love it. I love the drama it brings, but it also delivers some sort of romance sometimes. This is the UK one, so I can't believe it's already been a year since the last season of Married at First Sight UK. I'm excited for this season. But listen, the females on this season, I don't know where you guys found them. I just actually don't know what they're coming in here looking for. I haven't liked a single girl from this season. I lie. There's one girl that I like, but we're gonna get into all of the tea. Week 1, Married at First Sight UK 2025. In episode 1, I thought was really strange. They had the hens and the stags. They always split up the gay couples, obviously, because they're not going to set them on the same stags. Leah coming in as a bisexual woman being put with the men instead of her fully gay wife being put with the men is a very questionable offense. I don't know why they've done that, but I think it's a stir up drama because I think it's very possible that Leah and Joe could end up with each other by the end of this week. I can definitely smell a cheating scandal between Leah and Joe. I called it here first. Straight off the bat, Dean has the potential to be either the nation's sweetheart or turn into the worst character on the show. This always happens. It happened with Casper last year. We thought he is the sweetest guy ever, and then within 20 minutes, everybody turned on him. Maeve is a very questionable character for me. She gave me a lot of characters in one. I got Holly from last season mixed with Nikita. I also got a little bit of Lacey, and then I also was getting like Chloe Ferry vibes, but I think that's just because she's from Newcastle. But yeah, she's just not original to me. Like she is a TV series character. But to top it off, she's a mum. We're probably gonna get I'm a mum for the whole damn season. Now, David came in trying to just be jokey, make some friends. He made some quirky little jokes, and I just thought he was trying to be funny and lighthearted with the whole boy-girls thing, but the girls nearly ate him up. I was like, these girls need to chill. From there on, I knew I wasn't gonna like some of them, especially Grace, because she nearly attacked him for saying girls and boys jobs. But definitely from the hens and the stags, David stood out for me. I thought he was so cool. Straight away, the first thing we learn about Sarah is that she wants to settle down with the nicest girl in the world, and I'm calling it straight away. Sarah is about to treat Dean like a doormat. As soon as I heard her say them words, I was like, she's about to treat him like shit, because all she keeps talking about is I need tattoos and a bad guy, but then you want the nicest guy in the world. No, you don't. You're just chatting shit for cameras. She wants someone like Joe to walk in with Dean's personality. Make it make sense. Now, as soon as her friends came down the altar, they were looking at Dean with absolute disgust. Dean needs to get behind me because I'm gonna be defending him all season. The faces she's making when production are asking her if she fancies him, I have never disliked a character so fast. She set it off. She's the first person that we've seen, and I actually just can't believe the way she's treating him off the rip. Now, he thinks that she's absolutely loving it, but she is disgusted and overwhelmed. Like, I don't know what she's so overwhelmed about. She signed up to be on this shit. She also didn't kiss him at the altar. You just got married. Now, I know a lot of people don't do that, but Sarah was one of the ones that was at the hens party talking about, I will sleep with my groom on the first night. Babes, you didn't even kiss him at the altar. Why was her first question to Dean, do you go to the gym? I would have been like, cut the cameras, I'm leaving. We just met and that's your first question to me. Are you all right? Do you go to the gym? She's a horrible person. There's no redemption arc for her. There's nothing Dean can do in the next few weeks that will make her look better because she's already fucked it. Anything he does now is on her. The way she looks at him, I just can't cope with it. I can't cope. Why would you actually look at any human being the way you're looking at him? You're looking at him like he has scum of the earth when he's literally just so sweet and trying to get to know you. At the wedding, he wrote a song and he sang the song. Now, listen, Dean done a rap at the altar, and even his friends told him it wasn't a good idea, but that's just who he is, okay? At the actual wedding, he sang a song. He wrote a song for her. Now, my only thing about the wedding vows and the wedding speeches is people always write them like they know the person. That part to me is a little bit fake because you don't know the person. So you sitting writing something like a big ass spiel about how much you love me and I'm beautiful and we're gonna fall in love when you don't even know who I was gonna be is a little bit phony. But besides that, she was talking about how him singing the song to her is just weird. Let me ask you a question. If Ed Sheeran or Lewis Capaldi was singing the song, is it weird? I bet she'd say no. I feel like she should have also told the experts that she hates romance, because because he loves it. There's no way she didn't mention to the experts that she hates romance. But the thing is, I actually find it hard to believe that she hates romance. I think she loves romance. She just hates Dean. Our next married couple was Kia and David. They're my favorite so far. They're the only ones I like so far. As a couple, they're the only ones I like actually at all. Kia's been married for 7 years though in his previous relationship, and David was also in a long-term relationship of 8 years and he got engaged. They won't feel uncomfortable with each other because that's a long time to be in a relationship and start over. So at least it's not like one person was single and the other was in a long-term relationship. At least you guys can relate on that. One thing I did clock about David is he's a flight attendant. One thing I've learned about reality TV and flight attendants, it's not good for relationships. Being a flight attendant and being in a relationship apparently just doesn't work. I hope it works for them. That's all I can say. The sweetest thing was David's mum and brother surprising him for the wedding, because he was trying to call them and they weren't picking up and he was getting so stressed, and then they knocked on the door. Obsessed. I was freaking out. I was like, yes, I absolutely love this. They had to leave so quick they couldn't stay for the wedding, but at least they got to be there. I just thought it was a really sweet moment. I hope E4 paid for that. Upon meeting at the altar though, they were besotted with each other. They absolutely loved each other and I just really like them together. They're just a fun couple. I also love that during the wedding, Kia's mom was talking to David, and I love that she didn't tell him anything about Kia because she wants her son to be able to tell him that himself, and I just thought that was really respectful. The budget for the honeymoons on the UK season actually be booming. Now I don't know if it's just a price difference. Australia, they be going to Australia. The UK, they were going to the Maldives and Thailand, and I mean, some was going to like Switzerland or some shit. The Maldives for your honeymoon, that's tea. But they gave it to Sarah and Dean. I was pissed off by that because you could have gave it to actually anybody else. Because nobody deserves the Maldives more than Dean, and nobody deserves it less than Sarah. I hate this matchup. This has to actually be one of the worst matchups they've ever done. This is by far the worst matchup I've ever seen on Married at First Sight UK. Our third marriage to enter the experiment is Grace and Ashley. The first thing we learn about Grace is she is a feminist. Some would go as far as saying she is a feminazi. Now the first thing I will say as well, her walls are so high up, like she 100% has high walls. It's that bad that she comes across as almost inauthentic. Like she just comes across as fake to me. She did say she's been through so many breakups, and every time she goes through a breakup she picks up a new hobby. So there could be some sort of like imposter syndrome going on. She doesn't really know herself. She asked in her bod for someone to swoop in on a horse to rescue her from the dating scene, and I think that right there is why our wonderful experts chose to pair them up, because Ashley owns a horse. It's a perfect match. He can come and get her on his horse. Are we dead ass right now? This is my third year letting you experts know that I need to be an expert because you guys need help. Ashley said in his bod that he's never had that many girlfriends, but he was in a relationship with Miss Universe. He was engaged twice, and he's a father, meaning there's a baby mama. Whether they're one of the three, I don't know. How many relationships did you want to be in? Talking about I have never had that many girlfriends. You've already told us about 3. He also said in his bod that he's got feminine side from being raised by strong women. A modern day feminist should absolutely love that. She can do the blue jobs and he can do the pink jobs. She should be happy with that, right? Now listen, somebody has to let Grace know she is not funny in the slightest. I don't know who in this world has told her she's a comedian, because she's not. She hasn't made me laugh once. She's made me want to smack my head off a wall. Not funny. Not funny at all. She keeps talking about he can't be funnier than me, I'm the comedian, and her friends actually laugh at her. I don't know, her friends are just as crazy as she is. Let me know if you found Grace funny. When she walked down that altar, you would think Shrek was waiting for her. I actually don't know what these girls come in here expecting. It's called Married at First Sight, sight unseen. In case you missed the part of the Married at First Sight, okay, that means sight unseen. Like, some of these people are actually mad. Why come on the show if you're expecting your imagination of a perfect person that probably doesn't even exist? I think Grace needs to look in the mirror at the altar, or maybe marry her best friend. Maybe that's what she's missing. Why come on a show? Because I don't actually know what her issue is with Ashley. He hasn't done a single thing wrong. For someone that said in their entry VOD that they've got a feminine side, why did you lie? What's the point of lying in your VOD if he's clearly an old school man with old school morals and values, and he thinks men are the breadwinners of the house? which he had no problem saying pretty much straight into dinner, that men are supposed to be the breadwinners. She was like, it's 2025. Okay, let's go band for band. Let's go yearly annual salary for yearly annual salary. Grace is a midwife and he works building ships. Let's go yearly for yearly and see who's the breadwinner. He's in the lion's den here. Grace and her friends just hate men. It's easier just to say that they hate men. The friends ganged up on him basically and asked him, are you a feminist? He said, I'm 110% not a feminist. I was cracked up. I was like, it's game over. Wrap it up, send them home, it's done. There is no way the experts missed that. We knew 2 seconds into meeting Grace that she's a feminist. We knew straight away. It's the first thing she told us. She told us before she told us her name. And he's got old school morals. He also told us that pretty fast into the wedding. You're telling me he's gone through at least 5. Okay, we're gonna say at least 5. I'd like to hope it's about 10 to 15 different processes because we're marrying people here. But let's say they've gone through at least 5 interviews and y'all didn't pick up that he's old school while she's a modern day feminist. Like, her actual whole identity is being a feminist, and you put her with somebody that's 110% not a feminist. Oh my god. Maybe they didn't hear the not part. Maybe that's where the experts fucked up. He did eventually get schooled on what a feminist means, and he decided that he's a feminist. He just thought that being a feminist today was being a feminazi, where you're swinging your bra around, which kind of what a modern day feminist is. I'm sorry, a man telling a woman to smile has to be the worst thing they've ever heard all day. Ruined their day. I cannot cope with this cult of women. I can't deal. I can't cope with the comments. She was actually crying and she wouldn't even let her friends touch her. Now, do you know, the one thing I will say, I get that. I'm not good with touch. I don't like it. My family's not allowed to touch me. That sounds crazy. They're not allowed to hug me. My friends are not allowed to hug me. The only person that can is my partner. She's not going to allow that. Our 4th couple is Nelly and Steven. When I said I told a lie earlier that I didn't like any of the girls, I like Nelly. When I said I only like one couple so far, and that's David and Kia, it's because I'm not sure about Steven. There's something very, very fishy. And if something spins off in the future, I called it, okay? Because I'm always right about these things and there's something off about this man. But Nelly is a sweetheart and unfortunately I think she's gonna get her heart broken here. Steven has 2 kids. Everybody on this season has kids. No, that's exaggeration. Not everybody. Nearly someone in all the marriages has kids. I think there's gotta be at least 4 marriages that have kids. Never seen that before. You guys know if you've watched my Married at First Sight reviews before. I hope the experts are asking the other person, is it okay if they have kids? Because they don't seem to do that. That's the only rule. Make sure they're okay with being a step parent. Okay? Nelly really loves kids. You can see that just from her being an auntie, and she wants a family. She wants kids. I just hope they've asked her if she's okay with being a stepmom. I personally think she would be from watching her VOD. She's a sweetheart. You can tell from her VOD and her wedding day, she is so nervous about being rejected, and I just think she's so beautiful. It's so sad that she's so worried about being rejected. I hope Steven loves her and absolutely gives her everything that she wants. At the wedding, she did a traditional entrance. It was beautiful. And I was really, really happy that he was very accepting. He wasn't judgy at all. He accepted it fully. He embraced her entrance, her dress. He complimented her. I was really giddy watching their wedding. The longer I sat on it, something didn't sit right. I don't know if it's the fact that he called his baby mama on the day of the wedding. Now, I understand like he would have had to talk to his kids, but she was dead ass in the frame, you know? So yeah, I don't know. I feel like something in the future is going to come out about him. I just do. In saying that though, I don't think we should judge people instantly. He did have a really sad story. He was training to be a footballer and then he got beaten up and he completely broke his jaw, I think he said, and he had to get full reconstruction. Like I said, I really did enjoy watching their wedding and I hope it's real. If it is, they can have a very beautiful story. Nelly's friends asked Steven's siblings if he had kids. I always find it so funny how when someone's hiding that they've got kids, somebody always asks. They told Nelly's friends that yeah, Steven has kids, but his sister almost choked when they asked. They left it to him to share with her, which I thought was really respectful of them, because you just need to give them that space to know each other and then give him his time to kind of open up about that. When he did tell her that he's got kids, she didn't look overly joyed, but she did say she's chill about it. And honestly, I don't think it's going to be a hurdle for them. David and Kia went to South Africa for for their honeymoon. I'm starting to get a little bit worried. It's giving me Adrian and Thomas 2.0, and I don't like comparing all the time to past contestants, but Kia's energy is getting too much for David already. He never turns off. He's always on. It's always OTT, and as David keeps saying, it's 110% all of the time. I think it's going to get too much for him. David doesn't seem like he's one to sit on his emotions or his thoughts, which I am glad for, because emotional maturity, just talk about it. Why are you bottling it up? Because then things can get worse. Just have the conversation and get it over with. He told Kia, look, at some points you make it inappropriate, just relax. You know, it's okay for us to have serious conversations without making it funny or dropping innuendos. Innuendos? Is that what it's called? Then that night, Kia did open up to David, and it was really good to see that he's so comfortable already with David to tell him about his life and why he is the way he is. It was a very beautiful moment, and I was very happy to see that. They have a lot of potential if they continue on like this. On the honeymoon for Dean and Sarah, Dean is still rapping. He loves rapping, but rapping does not love him. He is not good at it. He, dead ass, no cap, thinks that him and Sarah are having a great time. He thinks they're having an absolute ball. They're bantering back and forward, and it's just very one-sided. I don't know how he doesn't see it. It's right in front of him. She can't wipe the look off her face. She is disgusted with him, and he thinks they're having a great time. He needs to open his eyes, because he is still convinced they're gonna go from best friends to a relationship. I don't know how he doesn't see it. Ashley continues with the comments. He is so clueless. It's hilarious to watch. He doesn't know that, he actually doesn't know how to act, and he doesn't know what he's up against. He likes Grace because she's not given everything up on the first night. That's a compliment. But she is highly offended because what if she was that person? Why does it matter? Because you're not. Marvel Comics, what if? No, we're not. We're not playing alternate universes. You're not that person. So why does it matter? He can't even stroke you. He can't even, like, you know, you're talking about what if I was that person? You're too worried about everybody else's opinion. Honestly, I think the only reason she got upset about that was because the cameras are on. It has to be. She's worried about what other people think of her. Our next couple to join the experiment is Lee and Leah. From everything we've heard in both of their VODs, I would say they're a good match. I would also match them together. Now, Leah confused me because she said she wants a masculine woman, but not too masculine, because she also wants them to be feminine, but not too feminine. But she also doesn't want them to be STEM, and apparently that means when you're in the middle. So I don't actually think she knows what she wants. If you don't want them to be too masculine because you want them to be feminine too, but you don't want them to be too feminine, but you don't want them to be in the middle. Girl, you don't know what you want. Off the jump, Lee is very judgy. Judgy isn't even the right word. She does not even give Leah a chance. I think she wanted Leah to walk up in a suit. Maybe if she walked up in a suit, that would have been too much for her. She's just judging her off being at the altar and not thinking that she's masculine enough. Now, one thing that did surprise me, Leah describes herself as masculine in her VOD, but then she also says that she has a feminine side. But when Lee asked her what does she describe herself as, Leah said she doesn't do labels. But in her VOD, she described herself as masculine. Now, to top it all off, Lee gave Leah a crystal, right? And Leah calls it a stone. But again, in Leah's VOD, she said she was spiritual. So I understand why the experts matched them together, but maybe Leah doesn't know herself, because she said a whole lot of stuff in her VOD that she doesn't even seem to remember by the wedding. When we get back to Grace and Ashley, I don't understand what she wants from the man. He literally said he wants a lady. That's an issue. Should he want a gentleman? Is that what you want him to tell you? I was hoping I would walk down the altar and meet a gentleman. No, he wanted to meet a lady. Why is that offensive to you? Why is that offensive? I don't understand this generation. Lee is extremely rude. She's not even trying to get to know Leah. The whole wedding is just horrible. And then to top it off, they get to the end of the night and Lee wants to sleep alone. She wants Leah to go sleep somewhere else. I found it weird, like we didn't see them getting any alone time. We didn't see them get their actual wedding, you know, where they're dancing and stuff. We didn't see any of that. So did Lee just not speak to Leah for the rest of the night? Dean genuinely cannot breathe in Sarah's presence without her getting pissed off. Even when he's trying just to have a genuine conversation, she's not having it. She's squirming and she's making faces at him. Like, what actually is that? Why are you treating him like he's a monster? He's dead ass just trying to have a genuine conversation, get to know you on a deeper level, and you're sitting there like this. Like, are you actually alright? Producers need to call her to the side and be like, fuck is wrong with you? She told him if he was smaller in size, there'd be a chance for them. She looks at him like he makes her sick, and she makes me sick. Grace actually allowed Ashley to give her a massage. Somehow, she did a 180. Halfway through this honeymoon, she just started opening up to Ashley. I don't know what happened. She allowed him to give her a massage. I just want to reiterate that the women on this season are awful. The next couple we have entering the experiment is Mave and Joe. In Mave's VOD, she definitely 100% gives me Chloe from Geordie Shore. That's the main character she's given me. From listening to her talk, I feel like she is a really lovely girl, but I think she has her walls fully up, and she masks it with being this loud and obnoxious person, which is going to push people away from getting to know the real her if she just won't let that down and be herself. The experts basically match them because they both get judged off their appearance, so that makes them a match. GG's. How do they still have a job after all these years? Now, the difference is Joe is judged because he looks like a bad macho guy with tattoos, when actually he isn't. He just seems like a really genuinely good person. He gets judged on being a bad person when he's actually just a good person, from what we can tell in one episode. Now, Mave gets judged on being this big, loud party girl, which admittedly she is. Therefore, they're not both wrongfully judged off of their appearances. Mave is, in her own words, how she is perceived. She just has another side too, which she doesn't let anybody see. I'm not sure this is a match. I'm not confident on this match at all. I think it's another screw up from the experts. Although what Joe does describe that he wants in a woman is Mave, I don't think she'll give him that. I think it would take a long time for her to just be herself. Although he also does kind of want that loud, bubbly personality, I don't think he wants the party, raggy girl, as she calls herself. Now, the black dress is not it for me. It's given, I'm not taking this process serious, because who's wearing a black wedding dress? And I think she's going to be way too much for him. He seems like a very chill person, and she's given very not chill in any way, shape, or form. Our next couple is Julia Ruth and Devanni. Julia Ruth is from New Zealand, and I think this is the first international person that we've had from outside of Europe on Married at First Sight UK. Devanni is also a dad, and Mel said, oh, him being a father gives him a degree in emotional maturity. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You should have lost your job for that comment alone. Being a father gives you a degree in emotional maturity? From what I can tell, just by day one on these honeymoons, Leah, she's swallowing herself as a person already just for Lee's demands. They walk into their honeymoon suite and she's like, no, we won't drink that yet. We won't do that yet. Maybe later. She's just very demanding, and Leah is cowering down to her, and I don't like it. Leah seems like she's a really good person. I'd like to see more of her personality and not her saying, oh, maybe I've met my match, and just, no, we ain't doing that. I really hope they write leave on the first commitment ceremony, because this going on is not going to work. I was so glad that Leah still got on that freaking snow skiing thing without leave. Grace is definitely calming down a little bit. She's warming up to Ashley. She's given him some understanding on why she is how she is, and that the touch thing is not a personal thing. I think she should have told him that on day one, but at least she's explaining herself now. She's kind of trying to roll back everything that's happened. She's kind of like, okay, I kind of had my guard up. I was judging too quick. I am sorry for how I was behaving. I think her friends were in her ear. She's been away from her friends 3 days and she's acting normal. You might need to rethink your friends, buddy. They've definitely come far from the beginning. They're like a different couple now. But I didn't hear him tell her that he's a father yet. Has Ashley told Grace that he's a father? But Julia Ruth and Devanni had such a explosive wedding. Like, they were the pinnacle of weddings, of Married at First Sight, okay? They were that couple, instantly loved each other when they met. And then they went from this to this. I don't understand what happened. Julia Ruth woke up and said that she doesn't have a natural spark with him. I don't know where that came from, because she was just like keying with her friend about how obsessed she is with him, and she just likes him so much already. Something definitely happened for her to change her mind. Our next couple is Bailey and Rebecca. Bailey has a daughter, and I don't think Rebecca's going to be okay with that. Rebecca is another very demanding woman. One thing I think is crazy is lying about your height in real life, because that man does not look 6'4". I know it's a debate right now now on the internet, but he does not look 6'4". I think Rebecca wanted to walk down the altar and meet Andrew Tate there. I really do. I think that's the man she's looking for. She's literally crying at the altar after she realized that she's left an 8-year relationship for this. She gave up on an 8-year relationship and she's realized at the altar, maybe I shouldn't have done that because this man is not man enough for me. None of the couples like each other this year. I think we only have 2 couples that actually like each other. Usually it's the other way around. Usually everybody likes each other at first and then 2 couples don't like each other. Nobody likes each other this year. I think production must have given Lee a firm speaking to because she's come back and she's trying to pull all of her actions back and she's actually willing to try with Leah. We'll see how long that lasts. Joe is not going to get what he wants from Mave. She's boisterous, she's rough, she's vulgar. He's asking for just a little bit of a lady while she's burping in his face at the dinner table. It's not going to work. He's not going to get what he's looking for out of this woman. There's a level to it, okay? And burping in someone's face at a dinner table is just nasty. You don't need to do that. You can simply use tissue, all of that. You don't need to just, wow. Stop the bullshit. What are we doing? We see Devanni asking Julia Ruth, what did you think of me when you were walking down the altar? He was excited. He couldn't wait to hear all the good things about himself. And she said, you know what? I had more expectations on the height. She told him she's only dated taller people. She's dead ass gonna write him off because of his height. She doesn't like short kings. Women, what's wrong? What's the problem with short kings? What's your issue? I don't see what the problem is. My man is 6'2". But that's not the reason I chose him. What's the problem with short kings? And why is she writing him off already because of his height? But Devanni, you're emotionally attached to her after 2 to 3 days. Are you mad? Are you alright? You need therapy? Saying you're emotionally attached to a woman after 2 to 3 days is crazy. That's psychotic. Did you go through your checks before you came on the show? That's some weird shit, especially when she's being so cold with you don't know nothing about her. Back at the wedding for Bailey and Rebecca, his friends are dogging him out. I have never seen somebody's friends turn on them like this. Rebecca sits down with Bailey's friends and they're like, he told you he works out? His everyday routine is 5 push-ups in the morning. He doesn't go to the gym. He changes himself for every partner he meets. He changes his style. He changes this. He's not 6'4". Everything she said that he told her, his friends were like, no, not true. Why? That's not him. He's chatting shit. They're some fake friends, buddy. You need to recheck your circle because they're not your friends. Joe and Maeve got to dinner. He told her that he thinks that she puts her walls down in private, but then when they go back out in public, she puts her walls back up, which AKA means in front of cameras, she's putting these walls up, and off camera, she's being herself. Instantly, like that, like a light switch. She's pissed off at him, she's screaming, she's shouting, he's pissing her off. She really gives me vibes that she should be on Geordie Shore. I'm not here for the fake drama of her. I'm not here for it. She acted out completely. I think she even stayed in a separate room. But then the next day she came back and she was like, that was uncalled for. I didn't need to act like that. And he reassured her that it's fine. He's alright with how she acted. He's just trying to get to know her. Could you imagine her at the dinner parties? That's going to be crazy. She is definitely here for the TV. Now, Devanni and Julia Ruth went on some camel rides. And to me, personally to me, because I've seen a lot of people saying he's given Eeyore and he's just like bad vibes. To me, it seems like he was just trying to open up to her, let her get to know him, and she's just not interested. She's not interested in any of the seriousness. She just wants to have fun. She doesn't want any deep talks with him. And I actually felt very, very sad for him because he was trying to just communicate with her and she was just shutting him down. Not a great way to deal with communication at all. She was acting like he's trauma dumping on her when he's just trying to share about himself. And then to end the night, she was like, we're gonna sleep in separate rooms. I don't want to share a room with you. I just need space. I thought it was too extreme. I really did. She's definitely seen that you are a short king and I don't want to do this anymore. I think Julia Ruth is another person that just should marry her best friend. Although they wouldn't marry her, I think she would marry them because all she wants to do is have fun. I'm actually unsure why the experts matched them. They didn't really explain that. We'll find that out probably at the commitment ceremony. That was a whole lot. And we're not even finished. I think we've got another couple to come in next week. It's going to be our old couple of the season. She is like a whole bundle of energy. She's a grandmother. She's a cool grandmother. I'm excited to meet her. Let me know who has been your favorite couple, girl, guy. Who's your favorite so far? I think my favorite couple is going to be David and Kia. My favorite girl is going to be Nelly. And maybe I'm going to say my favorite guy is Devanni, just because I do genuinely feel bad for him right now. My favorite show is back. So let me know what your thoughts. We'll talk in the comments. And I'll see you guys on week 2.